Hey you, yeah you who clicked on this video. Thanks for giving our channel a shot. And if you will, please do us the honor of watching the video all the way through. Appreciate it. Now onto the video. Woo, so we finally made it. Episode 10 of From the season finale, The Places We'll Go. So, we start out this episode where Jade figures out the power problem. Basically, he has the idea to run cables through the existing appliances that work already in the town, like the lamps, because apparently anything that came from outside of the town, with the exception of the vehicles, will not work. So any appliances that people had in their cars don't seem to work in the town. Okay, fair enough. We got Boyd and Sarah trying to figure out, what they've been taken by and where they are. And we got Jade gathering everybody to gather a wire together for the tower so that they can, now that they've solved the power problem, they need to get enough wire to make it work. So then we have, of course, we have Jade, who is, basically doing his best Sawyer impression from Lost by giving people nicknames. In particular, he's given Jim the nickname of Teacup, which is a callback to the idea that Jim was an engineer for theme parks. And he calls him that in front of Julie. Julie gets furious with Jade, and then Jade gives Julie a nickname. So, like I said, doing his best Sawyer impression, but remember, this show is basically from a lot of the creators of Lost, so it makes sense, it tracks. So we get another Kenny and Donna scene where they figure out whether or not it matters if they can communicate with the outside, because even if they can communicate, it doesn't necessarily mean that anybody's going anywhere. Then we get another Kenny and Christy talk about the places that they'll go when they can get out, and Kenny shows her the lamp that he was bringing from college when they got stuck in the town. Christy is very adamant about the idea that she has someone waiting for her back home, which makes no sense given that there's obviously a time variance between wherever they are and the outside world, so it really doesn't track, but she's staying hopeful, I suppose, and kind of shoots Kenny down. Okay, fine. Even though she's, basically been kind of leading him on. She gave him a kiss a few episodes back. I care about you, all this other stuff. But now, now we got somebody back home waiting for us. Now, I can't wait to get married to a person who may not even recognize me. More importantly, y'all are different people now. Like, for real, y'all are completely different people after the experience that you've had in this place. But we'll get to that. So the bartender, he doesn't believe that the tower is going to work. And he says, look, I'm just going to be at the bar when y'all fail, drinks on me, baby. So, it is what it is. Then we have Ellis. Well, now this was kind of a weird scene to me. Like, I understand it to a point, but again, just like what Donna and Kenny were talking about, that there's no real guarantee that anybody's going to get out. Like, let's say that Boyd and Sarah find a way out. Yeah, they'll get out, but does that really guarantee everybody's going to get out? And then let's talk about the tower. Like, even if the tower works and they're able to communicate, how are you supposed to pierce the loop that is the town to get to the outside world? So with all this being said, Ellis basically figures that this is a good time to propose to Fatima. And, it kind of looks like she's going to say no for a second, but then, she's like, no, I'm going to do it. He fashioned her a ring out of wire and took her to, apparently a very special spot for both of them. And she accepts his proposal. So I guess maybe wedding next season, who knows? So then we got, Boyd trying to figure out where the light came from, and Sarah's scared. Boyd hears a voice calling for help, but Sarah doesn't hear it. And then this is where the episode falls off a cliff for me, because when them spiders come out of that gigantic web and he sees Abby, and I'm just like, nope, because them spiders, that was it for me. I'm not even arachnophobic like that, but you got mystical spiders biting people, and I'm not for it at all. No. So then we got Jim and the others erecting the tower. Still, Ethan says that Victor has a part to play in them getting home. He's vague as always, because Ethan's a little boy, and even though he is very integral to the story in some way, because he is, he's such an innocent child, he has no real grasp on exactly what that role is. But that's par for the course in this series so far. So then we see that Boyd is suffering from these spider bites. He might be hallucinating, not really sure. And Sarah really wants to talk about what he saw in the trees, and Boyd, doesn't want to talk about it, but we can see that he's losing hope. And Sarah really stepped up. Like, she really did. Like, she starts carrying the pack. She's, not letting Boyd give up. And I really enjoyed her in this episode. So then we see more of Jim and the others getting the tower together, and Jade goes off to find Victor. So then we see that Jade walks in on Kenny's mom, and she's praying and just really reflecting on the events of the past few weeks and reflecting on her husband. Jade tells her about living in France with his grandmother, and it's a really touching scene about Jade. We didn't really know that he was an orphan, but he lived with his grandmother in France until she, I guess, passed away. And then he had to move back to the U.S. with his uncle, and he's basically relaying to Kenny's mom that, the people that we lose, they are always with us. They're always with us in our hearts. And I felt like this was touching because, Jade really does try. He's basically the Tony Stark of this situation. He's kind of arrogant. He's definitely smart, but he's, he's an asshole. And I really didn't expect him to sit and pray with Kenny's mom in this scene. And yet, he really shows his humanity in this moment, rather than, rebuffing her or pushing her away or just not being, okay with the idea of praying. He literally, sits and prays with her. And I really felt that scene. So then we get to, Jade and Kenny's mom. They bring snacks for everybody that's, been working hard on the tower. And that's cool. Christy apologizes to Kenny. I think she kind of realizes how just dickish she sounded talking to him in the way that she's talking to him, given their history up to this point. And, she realizes that things are different and, that she may have to start over. And if she is going to start over, why not start over with Kenny? I mean, they obviously have a rapport. They have good chemistry. So the idea of, her juxtaposing going back to her old life, which might not even be possible, even if her significant other is still, relatively around the same age and, not much time has passed in the outside world. Again, Christy is a different person now. So I really do like that she, kind of lays this out. But at the same time, I don't like her, doing the will they, won't they in Kenny's face and kind of stringing him along. So that is kind of irritating, but I really do hope that these two get together because, like I said, they have great on-screen chemistry, and I think that if both of them can let go of their baggage, they can, really be there for each other and really be a strength for each other. So we see the tower get completely assembled, and we see that they get a signal, and then Tabitha, she leaves, and you see this storm rolling in, and almost like on cue, hold on, y'all are doing too much. And it just brings us back to what Sarah was saying about Nathan. Nathan's hypothesis that when you push the place too far, it'll push back on you. And with this storm, we can definitely see that. So we got Boyd and Sarah. They hear that loud horn again. The rain starts, and then what do they find? They find a lighthouse. So what does a lighthouse usually mean? It usually means that you're on the coast of something. So there must be probably a body of water near where they are, wherever that may be. So Jim starts the broadcast and gets an answer, and it's a voice. And the voice knows Jim's name, and it warns him that Tabitha needs to stop digging the hole. And as we're hearing this, we see Tabitha continuing to dig and falls into a gigantic sinkhole in the basement where Victor is. We see the wires aren't connected to anything, so I don't know exactly what this means, but it is rather disconcerting. But more disconcerting is what Victor says to Tabitha when he says that the monsters sleep underground. So for y'all, for all of those playing at home, the monsters are sleeping under these people's houses. I don't know about you, but that would freak me the hell out. So then we have Boyd, who tells Sarah just to leave him. He can't continue on. And then we see the boy in white who actually speaks this time, and he's speaking to Sarah. He sends, them to shelter and basically says that the place, that where they are is angry. And we see Sarah sending Boyd through one of the what do they call it? Anywhere trees. And then Boyd ends up on the other side, kind of like, I guess, in a wall or maybe a chimney of some sort. Either way, it's very cramped. And he's kind of, blocked in on all sides. And this is where the really frightening part comes in, because we know that people are going to die. I've had this theory for a while, but I think that there's a set number of people that can be in this place. And when a person dies or when multiple people die, they have to be replaced. Now, remember, 14 people, or I really want to say 15 people if you count Father Khatri, died in the assault on Colony House. And now we have a tour bus right on cue, and I guarantee you there are 14 to 15 people on this bus. So we know that this place has a design of some sort and that there are some sort of rules. Now, this is definitely a cliffhanger to leave the season on, but I'm all for it, and I can't wait until season 2, which has been greenlit, so we don't really have to worry about it not coming back. With that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think is coming up in season 2, what you guys thought about this episode, whether or not you think Boyd and Sarah are going to make it, whether or not you think, who you think is on the other side of the radio, who knows, the resident's name, Jim's name in particular. What do you think is going to happen to Tabitha and Victor? Is the boy in white a force for good, or is he just another malevolent presence? And what could be worse on the part of the woods that Boyd and Sarah in that's worse than the monsters that we've been, accustomed to every night in the town? With that being said, guys, like I said, leave a comment. We'll see you on the next one. 8-Bit Heroes out. Peace. Want to give a big 8-Bit Heroes welcome to Christopher with a K. Welcome to the 8-Bit Heroes family. Big shouts out to you. If you'd like to get a shout out on the channel, then hit that like button, maybe share it with a couple of friends, and do us the biggest honor of all, and subscribe to the channel so you can join the 8-Bit Heroes family. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon so you can be notified when our new videos come out.